of course, as a personality, you're expected to be on social media. We post a lot of pictures.
So you're checking all the comments, or your team does?
No, my team. I mean, I don't check comments. Stars in every, every aspect, whether it's cinema, whether it's Insta.
के set पे कितना improv allowed होता है, and how much does he want you to stick to the plan?
Well, there are 3-4 shots we do.
There was like, oh man, and you were absolutely stunning in that. Besides acting well, it's like working with her, which I've been saying constantly, was such a pleasure because.
But it can't be only women. We need directors. We need writers who are men.
I'm not on any social.
I will ask you separately how you manage that. ये तो बिल्कुल अलग planet वाली बात लग रही है हमें.
Purely selfish process for me is I love writing. I love directing. It's precisely because of social media that the attention spans have become shorter. I really don't worry about it.
Immediately dove into the character. Like the most important scenes are the ones that we started with. So it was like just, you have to surprise people sometimes. You have to make them go like, and that's what I've tried to do with this character. Because I feel if I can feel it, I can make people feel it.
The reason I prep endlessly for weeks is because when I come on set.
Performance, a character, anything.
I'm trying to think.
I'll answer if you want to think.
Please answer. Hi, I'm Madhuri Dixit and I'm on Fever FM with Stutee.
Hi, I'm Nagesh Kukunoor and I'm on Fever FM with Stutee.
Hi guys, welcome to Fever FM. मैं हूँ स्तुति और आज दो ऐसे लोगों का इंटरव्यू कर रही हूँ जो दोनों मुझे बहुत पसंद हैं. ठीक है, एक है नागेश कुकुनूर जिनकी फिल्मों ने they played such an important role, especially in our growing up years. We love these films, right? So I met him and I said, hello Nagesh, I'm Stutee. It was lovely. And फिर मैं मिली माधुरी दीक्षित से और मैंने बोला hi Madhuri because she just makes you blush and it's no matter the experience, you're a journalist, you're heading a team, but you look at Madhuri and you're like, how are you? You do that to people. First of all, I want to welcome you to Fever FM.
Thank you so much.
And I want to say, what were you thinking when you cast her? Because you scared me a little. And I was reminded of Madhuri Dixit from Anjam. Have you seen the film?
No, I haven't.
You haven't?
I have not. I've heard it even mentioned several times in interviews. A lot of people have brought it up and I'm like, oh, okay. Note to self, see Anjam.
So, which Madhuri Dixit film is your favorite?
I answered this yesterday. So, believe it or not, it's only in the second avatar. When she became who she was, I was out of the country. So, I never got that whole wave of the... Of course, I did see the video of Ek Do Teen. So, like every Indian did. But it wasn't till I came back and then I saw Devdas.
Yeah.
That was like, oh man. And you were absolutely stunning in that besides acting well. It's like, wow. Yeah.
May I add, you were stunning in everything that you have done. A star, an aura, people are in love with you. We're used to seeing you in a certain way. How do you then ensure that the craft that you're so passionate about, you want to be challenged as an actor, you want to do the sort of work where you're surprising people also. They might be expecting something from you, but you turn out and do something completely different. How do you tackle that at your level?
By doing Mrs. Deshpande, by working in this project. And, I love to challenge myself. And I think this is one of the biggest challenge I have taken. Because people don't see me like that. And I have, despite all that, I have done roles where it's very, very different from what people see me as. And I thought Mrs. Deshpande would be a great segue into that kind of zone where you have to surprise people sometimes. You have to make them go like, and that's what I've tried to do with this character.
What is it about directing a star? Okay, is it intimidating? Is there an aura that as a director you feel like you have to negotiate, manage? What is it like when when an actor is on set, but the actor is a huge star?
So the answer to this goes back to 2000, when the first big actor in my head I was directing was Om Puri. And this was on the set of Bollywood Calling. It was the very first shot in New Jersey. And Om, being the magnificent human being that he was, he walked on set and he said, in that voice, Nagesh, tell me what to do. That's what he said. So he did that on purpose, because he was setting the rules that no matter what, whether I'm a known actor or not, you're running the ship. And since that point, I've never looked back. So, you know, that was like, oh, okay. So at the end of the day, they're just actors. Now, working with her, which I've been saying constantly, was such a pleasure, because a star or a big actor can bring that baggage right up until the door of the set. Some onto the set as well, but they can do that. And she does none of that nonsense. There aren't any bouncers, you know, pushing people out of the way and, you know, make way. There's nothing. She comes, she gets out of the makeup van, there's just her...
A thorough professional.
Yeah, the one Karan who handles everyone and everything. And that's it. And she'll come on set and quick hello, and then we're on to the work. So when you set those ground rules, then you're not spending the first, let's say, hour fighting ego battles to get to the work. It's only about the work.
Working on this set where he's in charge, did he surprise you in any way, especially with the way he handled stuff?
You know, I had a full narration of the whole character and the whole script, and you know, I loved it, and I said yes. At first I was like, who, me? And then I was like, yeah, me. You know, I was very, but once we went on the set, it was all like very focused, and that's what I find about him. He's very focused on each character, like a laser beam. So you cannot, like, you know, because sometimes some directors are so enamored that they want to use those little things, your little gestures or your little things, you know, unconsciously, not because they want to. But with him, he was very like, you're Mrs. D, and this is how. So whenever we did a shot, it was like, more Mrs. D and less MD. So, so we had a great understanding, and it was a pleasure working with him, because he is amazing as a director. He knows, you know, how to bring out that character from, you know, within you, and I think you had a good time.
I had a blast.
And the first, for 28 days that we shot, like, we immediately dove into the character. Like, the most important scenes are the ones that we started with. So it was like just whack, and we didn't have time to think about anything else. You know, it was a little scary for me initially, but then we kind of got into it, and it was great.
You know, and I'm sure you've been asked this before. The world has changed a lot since when you started in the films, right? And abhi, with the kind of roles being written, more women in the writer's room, more women directors, more women on set. We hear so many actors say that there are more women, which is amazing. Pehle sirf hairdresser hota tha ya makeup hota tha, and you know, and that's changed the narrative. थोड़ा सा मन में आता है कि यार, what a time to be an actor, to have roles written for you, because you know, while you were always such a big star, now when I look back, I feel that's more commendable, because it was a more hero-led industry, and you and so many like you, you know, stood your ground, and you know, you became the superstars, and you would pull people into the theaters. So how do you read it as an insider, the change that you're seeing, and just...
The change is wonderful. I mean, it's for the better, especially for women. But it can't be only women. We need directors, we need you know, writers who are men. There are women directors and writers, but who are also men, but who also look at women with that you know, vision. Like, write roles for them, and directors who would want to make these kind of films. So I think there should be a great balance, and I see a very good time for women in films. That's what I'm seeing. Not only because of the cinema, but also because of OTT.
Yes.
where there are a lot of series being made which are women centric, and people are watching it, people are liking it, and you don't always have to be a movie star or this star or that star. Today we have stars in every every aspect, whether it's cinema, whether it's Insta or whether it's Twitter. There are influencers, there are OTT stars, there are so in that sense I think sometimes things can translate from OTT into cinema or cinema into OTT.
I want to ask you this, Nagesh. Recently, in fact, Abhi, that song from Dhanak is trending.
I was told,
out of the blue, and it's just so cool. How do you guys make sense of this? क्योंकि कई चीजें जो आप कर चुके हो वो suddenly they trend and everybody is talking about it.
So I'm not on any social.
I will ask you separately how you manage that. ये तो बिल्कुल अलग planet वाली बात लग रही है हमें, but.
So I was told that, and it was such a happy reaction on my part, because something that you did 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And Dhanak is a special film for me, and you parked it, you enjoyed it. I mean, I had a great time with it the year I toured festivals and all that. And then for it to have whatever second, third, fourth life, it's wonderful. But you've heard the cliche, right? That's the beauty of cinema. My God, it's timeless. When something works, it works. Yeah.
So I don't know how manages his life, saying I'm not on social media. How do you make sense of all of this? Social media, this pressure of putting pictures, of promotions, this must be really different. I mean, you're doing it now, but it's...
because, when we were working initially, it was just few, interviews here and there. And
in fact, you were told to be more mysterious, I think.
No, not told to be. I mean, that's how it was.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't talk much, or there were just 4 magazines or 5 magazines at that time we used to talk to, and that's about it. But of course, as a personality, you're expected to be on social media. We post a lot of pictures and all, but I think I'm not obsessed about it. My team has to push me a lot of times to do things.
So you're checking all the comments, or your team does?
No, my team does. I mean, I don't check comments because they're good, the bad, the ugly, and I don't care. So for me, it's like it's just for me, like, making Insta reels is great fun.
Yeah.
Because it's not about being a certain way or something. It's about letting your hair down and just doing something stupid and crazy and sweet and dance or just say the dialogue bit or something like that. I just enjoy doing that. And whenever I feel like I do it, or if I'm going through Insta and I say, oh, this is a nice reel, I want to do it. Amazing. Or my team comes to me and says, hey, why don't you do this one? This is very nice. And I just do it out of just spontaneously. I don't give it that much importance.
Nagesh, I know you're not on social media, but the one thing that everybody is discussing is how the attention span of people has just shrunk. Okay, we're into 90-second reels. A lot of platforms openly talk about secondary screen viewing, where they know that you'll have one screen and you're watching the next screen. As a creator, a filmmaker, you're directing long-form content. How do you understand this? Everything that's happening in the creative space today.
See, rather than understand it or analyze it, I very early decided that what I get from this, and it's a purely selfish process for me, is I love writing. I love directing. I mean, there's no other place I'd rather be than on a damn set. Not somewhere in the mountains, nothing. Just give me a set and shooting bad ads, I have just had the most fun. I just love what it does to me as a person. That's where my joy begins and that's where my joy ends. What follows all this other things, the social media nonsense and all that, the short attention spans, and it's precisely because of social media that the attention spans have become shorter. I really don't worry about it. Because I always know, like I was telling someone the other day, the OTT space is consolidating big time, right? There are only like 4 providers now. the number of shows, each one was green-lighting about 20 shows a year. Now it's come down to like 8, 10, somewhere there. But I'm saying, till it completely dies, I'm like, art does the to ban rahe na, so someone is going to come to me or I'm going to go to someone. So I'm like that. Leave me in my corner, I'll make my films, I'll make my shows. I'm not going to worry about the larger picture, because the larger picture for me is very dystopian. It genuinely is dystopian. 1984 is one of my favorite books of all time. It's here, man. It's here 10 times over. So I'd rather not think about all that. It's better to just live in my little
On
hole.
a positive note.
On a very positive note. Let's go have drinks.
I want to do this tug of war. Okay, so I'm going to give you two options, and you have to tell me which one you are going to side with. Okay, a story that moves you personally, or story you think will do well commercially, the world wants.
For me, there's one thing which never fails, and I'm bawling like an idiot when it actually happens, which is the underdog sports story. Give me, and Hollywood has perfected this. Football, baseball, take whatever sport, swimming, it doesn't matter.
Triumph of human spirit.
The triumph of the underdog, and that gets me every time. I know that final shot's going to happen, the medal's going to happen. I'm ready with my tears primed, and so.
Madhuri, when you have to say yes to something, is it something that personally moves you, or what you feel?
When it personally moves me, because I feel if I can feel it, I can make people feel it.
Nice, I like that. Okay. Your instinct versus a very thought out methodical plan on paper. You're more of an intuitive gut person, or
For me, it's more intuitive.
Intuitive, and it's always worked out for you?
Always. And sometimes not, sometimes it does. But I've always been intuitive, because I've seen whenever I try to plan something and do it, it doesn't necessarily turn out the way it was supposed to. And I feel your first instinct, your first gut feeling is always.
Okay, preparing for weeks or going with the flow?
So that ties in kind of a little bit to your previous question about instinct versus. I think when you prepare for weeks is when you can let your instinct shine. They're not two separate things. The reason I prep endlessly for weeks is because when I come on set, and when an actor just completely throws what I had planned out the window and does something 100 times better, I'm prepared to say, oh, that'll still fit in the plan of what I want to execute. And that's where my instinct is playing a part. So both, I think, go hand in glove.
But inke set pe kitna improv allowed hota, and how much does he want you to stick to the plan?
Well, there are 3-4 shots we do. 3-4 takes. One take is, the way he wants it. One take is, okay, I think I've got what I want. Now you can do what you want, like if you want to do something. But he's very open about that. If he likes that other one, he'll say, okay, I like this one, I'm going to keep this. And then one he'll say, mil to kya hai? But just for a laugh, let's just do something. Maybe we'll get something.
just kuch kar do.
Kuch kar do. Not bad. Okay, we are almost at the end of this. I want to ask you, like he said, कई चीज़ों को second lease of life मिल रही है, right? Because there's this whole new generation that's waking up to what you guys have done. इनका धनक का गाना एक बार फिर hit हो गया. ऐसा कोई काम जो आपने किया है, all of them, are great and we've loved it, but you feel कि I think a second lease of life for this one, which people need to rediscover or rewatch or just talk about more. It could be a song you've done, a film you've done, a performance, a character, anything.
Good question.
I'm trying to think.
I'll answer if you want to think.
Please answer.
No, so you can think of your answer. I always feel that Teen Diware should have gotten a wider release. Because it was back in the time when, the art film was there, no Gane, no this, so it got a small release. And it's one of the films I feel in my head, I haven't gone back and watched it, that it would still hold even in today's time. So it would be nice if it found an avenue to be out there again.
Amazing. It's out there now. We're manifesting it.
Yeah.
For you?
I don't know. I just can't think of anything. Because there's so many things that always come back.
भी
and
बहुत बार आ चुका है.
Oh my God, everything. Just trying to think what has not been repeated. I don't know really. I think I'm happy with what you were saying.
Well, lovely, amazing. That's Madhuri Dixit for all of us.